Welcome to the Rob and Kale podcast. Rob Sanders.
Some would be entertained by it. Some would be horrified by
Kale Carolina Jackpot Hall.
All would be interested in it.
The Rob and Kale podcasts.
Let's go.
And welcome into the Rob and Kale podcast. I'm Rob Sanders. Thanks for joining us this evening. I will be doing this show by myself. And I'm already getting messages from the dumb fuck comrade. Does Rob still want Brad fired? That's what you have when you support an athletic program that is shitty as the University of South Carolina is. And when you want to be Clemson so bad, you want to go and beat the program that is essentially the 6'5" blue blood program, and you are the fucking dwarf from Game of Thrones, but you have your tongue cut out and you don't have a brain. That's what I get from idiots like the comrade who's sending messages right now to myself and Mr. Carolina Jackpot, who is the classy South Carolina fan. All right. So there's that. I'm going to address the chats over here in a second. You can join the program whenever you want, but here's what I've learned over the weekend. First of all, we'll mention the Callaway's Bracket Challenge. Callaway's Bracket Challenge, the current leader at 99.6% is myself. The rest of you are all chasing me. Thank you. Thank you for that. All right, the other thing, I picked, and it's in the archives, I picked South Carolina to lose to Oregon. And I was told by several people, hey, that's not going to happen. Oregon's not that good. Oregon can't hang with South Carolina. We got the quarter zip. We're going to win. That's what we've got. You went home with your dick in your hand. That's what you got. Anyway, in addition to that, we learned, what else did we learn? If Kentucky doesn't fire John Calipari, I don't think they care about basketball anymore. We learned that too. That's what we've learned as one of the things from this tournament, by the way. John Calipari is an absolute joke. And I've got comments coming in, and I'll show you. This is the text message. This is the text message. Let's see here. A thread that I put out about wanting to fire Brad Brownell. I'll be happy to read it. This is for a comrade saying who should replace that idiot Brownell. Stanley Godfrey, King Coot, Kale Hall, Comrade Fuck the Tigers, Debreski. I could teach those fuckers to shoot free throws, Wendy Wyatt, and old banana tits. Fire him via text message. Yeah, I said that. And I stand behind that. You want to know why? Because this is a decade good Clemson team. And they're not going to be this good next year. See, when you have to deal with simpletons like the comrade, the reason that I don't like Brownell is because he's not consistent. He had a Sweet 16 team, 6 years ago? And now they're back here again. That's the whole thing. It's about consistency. But when you've never had a program that's worth a fuck in anything, you don't understand that. So the way that I'm addressing a lot of these South Carolina fans is very simple. As of right now, the only thing that you can say to me where I won't tell you to shut your dick sucker is this. Dawn Staley and the women's basketball team is out here destroying people. Other than that, you're not even on the same fucking planet with me. Get out. Get out with that nonsense. Rich says we have two great players coming in and Brad has done well with the portal. Look, you got to give Brad Brownell credit. He's done great this season. But still, watching that game tonight, you thought for just a second, hey, they're going to blow this game. And I'm putting it up here for the comrade. Yes, I want him fired. And you know what? If he doesn't consistently do well, he should go. Having that tiger paw on your chest means something. It's not like a rooster down in the ghetto on Bluff Road. It means something. And that's the way it is. Jay wants to know if I'm in training to fight Floyd Mayweather. That's funny. Bird to Fly says, sweeping the number 3 team in the National isn't good. It's about consistency, sir. That's what a lot of people don't understand. It's about consistency. You can go out and win all these games you want, but can you consistently do it? There is no PJ Hall next year. There is no Joe Girard next year. All right? So, yeah, he's managed to put together a team that went to the Sweet 16. I'm not saying he should be fired this year. I'm just saying he needs to be more consistent. Needs to be more consistent. We'll give the comrade all the run he wants because he can't talk about his program because they're not playing. They're sitting on the couch in their quarter zips. He says he's the greatest basketball coach in Clemson history. Yes. Clemson basketball is like Gamecock football. You're good once every 10 years, but really not worth a fuck overall. Okay? It's just the way that it is. At least I'm honest about it. Thank Jay for the super chat, by the way. I think we went over that. I'm not trying to fight anybody. Papa B says, when your guards are hot, you wish you could keep playing. Yeah, there's that too. So we also have Auburn going out there and losing to an Ivy League school. How does that happen? Well, I read this, and this is going to hurt a lot of feelings here. The NCAA tournament record by conferences so far. Now, I'm giving you this because if you watch ESPN, because they've got their dicks so far in the SEC, they're going to tell you the SEC is just this great basketball conference. And we should all fear X, Y, and Z because they're just in the SEC. And it's just so big and bad. Sent a bunch of fucking programmers from Yale to beat one of your best teams. But the Big East is 5-0. The ACC is 8-1. The Big Ten is 6-3. Do I need to keep going? The Pac-12 is 6-3. The WCC is 2-1. The Big 12 is 6-6. The A-10 is 2-2, and the SEC is 4-5. Yeah, your one ACC loss in the tournament was Virginia in a play-in game. So there's that. Good point. Bama's in a dogfight right now with Grand Canyon, which is an online school. Your best team may lose to an online school. And you know what? I have to give credit to Tennessee. Congratulations, Tennessee. You are carrying that conference. The Mississippi States of the world, they got their fucking shit pushed in. All of them did. Florida, get out. Kentucky, get out. At least Alabama won one game against Charleston where the little tiny college of Charleston out-rebounded them and hung in that game with them for all they wanted. Auburn losing to Yale, we talked about that. Kentucky losing to freaking a dude with a crew cut. How the hell does that happen? How can you have all of those NBA players on your team and multi-million-dollar liar coach on the sidelines that's been cheating since the dawn of time, but you can't beat a dude with a crew cut? How does that happen? Jackpot, by the way, is off tonight. And Jackpot will be back with us on Wednesday. Jackpot didn't duck the show because his team lost. Has nothing to do with that. Okay? He had to work tonight. So I'm doing the show by myself. If you want to join the program, here's the link. Shout out to my buddy Joe, who's watching over there, the trainer to the stars. Says, I tell it like it is, Rob. I'm trying to look good, Joe. I'm trying. Bird to Fly says he want to see Tennessee versus Clemson, if that's even possible. I mean, they could eventually play each other at some point. Right now, the bracket sets up where Clemson is going to play Arizona, who is a really, really good team. If they win that matchup, they're going to get the winner of between Grand Canyon and Alabama, who will play North Carolina. So if Clemson can get past Arizona, they've already beaten North Carolina this year. I'm not saying they will. I did predict them to win the 2 games and make the Sweet 16 because I knew that they had the inside punch to deal with New Mexico State, and Baylor is Baylor. They got a pedo bear for a mascot. They're not really relevant. Sorry. Bulldog says he's a proud Purdue alumni. Very good. Mike says, oh, no, I know he isn't ducking the show. It's just being funny. Yeah, very good there, too. Let's welcome into the program Mr. Gamecock 40. Tell us what's going on the campus down there, sir.
Well, I actually just got back from a Frisbee tournament where, to no one's surprise, we got embarrassed. We went like 0-6 in Ultimate Frisbee, bruh. Like, we're terrible this year.
That's the Gamecock way, brother. Start losing now because you're going to lose a lot being an alumni from there.
Yeah, I know.
It's a timeline. Every Gamecock event is like a timeline of suck. I didn't say that. Jackpot said it. So there's that.
Yeah, I'm contracted into a lifetime of losing.
Yeah, you know that.
I'm not even surprised that Oregon beat us. Like, I was almost on the brink of like I said we were gonna win that game in my bracket. I had us losing to Creighton in the next round, but speaking of which, your bracket's looking really good, and I think you're in the lead.
99.6%, sir. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good, yeah.
Yeah. You want to know where I got fucked though is because I thought that I bought into the Kentucky nonsense, and I will not do it again.
I didn't buy into it. I had them losing in the round of 32.
I bought into the Kentucky nonsense. It will not happen again. Period. I will not pick those cocksuckers to win a jumping jacks tournament. Will not do it until Calipari is gone. Will not do it.
This is what's going to continue to happen as long as Kentucky refuses to play defense.
Well, there's that too. I don't know.
They're like ranked 150th nationally in defense.
It's a good point. And it's hard to get a lot of these guys to come in that are on that 1-year wonder program and be like, hey, you know what? We're going to play defense. And they're not. So with that, I mean, the SEC is really having issues this I mean, they really, really are.
He's some slapdick from East Boga,
Right.
Community College.
East Boga Community College may have beaten some of those SEC teams. They played like dog shit. That really, really happened. So there's that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I watched the Oregon South Carolina game. I actually watched it all the way through, surprisingly. That game honestly gave me it reminded me of the Gator Bowl that we played in last year.
Yeah.
And the fact that it came after a decent season. And then after the regular season's over, we just lay a complete egg. So
I gotta give the Gamecock baseball team. They swept Vanderbilt.
yeah, I saw that.
A big deal. Beating Vanderbilt is a big deal. We'll give
Sweeping Vanderbilt's a big deal. Big factor with that is honestly bats came alive. Most notably, we had that Ethan Petrie guy. He hit 2 home runs in one of the games. I wasn't able to watch any of the games, obviously, but we played a doubleheader on Saturday, and then we took the last.
You had Ultimate Frisbee to go to, brother.
Well, I'm on the B team. Our A team's actually not bad. Our B team's hot garbage this year. Our B team's normally really good. We've been region champs 5 years in a row. We're trash this year. We're like 5-15 this year. We're hot garbage.
Hot garbage, yeah. We got to mention the Clemson baseball team for a second here. They had a 3-game series with Florida State. And in game 1, they were down 4-0. They won 15-5. In game 2, they were down 8-1. They won 9-8.
Wow.
In game 3, they trailed 11-2, and they won 14-2, and swept Florida State right the hell on out of Clemson today.
Wow.
This is a nationally ranked Florida State baseball.
Florida State's a top 25-ish type team, right?
Yeah, I can't remember where they're ranked, but right now their ranked is bitch because that's where they are. Hank taking them L's and going on back down to Tallahassee with them. They take them down.
I don't want to hop on the train too quickly for us, but beating number 3 Vanderbilt, sweeping them, that's a big deal. It was just kind of disappointing to lose the 1-run games to y'all and then lose. How's the Hot Wheels team? Frisbee's Big Barney Ross.
Yeah, how good is the Checkers team at South Carolina? I mean, I know when they're playing.
I haven't checked. There probably is a club for that. I haven't checked into it. I might quit Frisbee and start playing checkers in the Checkers club. 'Cause I'm tired of losing, bro.
So the Lopes, which for those of you who don't know, that is Grand Canyon, which is the online school, is hanging with the big bad SEC opponent Alabama. Ugh. I don't even know where to go with that.
Yeah, tied. It's tied 55 all.
It's late, and when you start seeing stuff like that with Alabama basketball and you see what happened with Gamecock basketball, you remember this great quote from the man in the upstate, Mr. Carolina Jackpot.
I like to bookmark and pinpoint different events in my life by a Gamecock loss. It's like a timeline of suck.
Exactly. Gamecock Chuck may be moving up in the basketball challenge because he picked Grand Canyon over Alabama.
That is a big.
I wish that I did that because when I'm looking at these SEC teams, I mean, to be completely honest with you, the only one that looks like they're worth the shit is Tennessee. The only one that I can remotely hang a hat on is Tennessee. The rest of them are legitimate hot dog water. That's what they are. And until you actually win some games and
Texas
you don't
ATM's hanging in with Houston right now.
Whoever. I mean, I'm not gonna consider you just relevant. I'm not. So we need to remember this for next season.
Yeah.
Because this has been a constant thing here. And some correction needs to occur. Like we need to look more, not just at the ACC, but the Big East. The Big East is outstanding.
I have Marquette in my Final Four, so.
Yeah, Marquette is no joke. Connecticut's probably going to win the whole damn thing.
Yeah, I feel bad for I'm not going to lie.
Bruce Pearl, Bruce Pearl, yay!
Yeah, I feel bad for trusting Auburn. I had Auburn in my Final Four. Boy, that was a mistake.
Oh, I had Kentucky in the Final Four. Yep. Had Kentucky in the Final Four.
I'm not going to make fun of you because you're legitimately winning the bracket challenge right now.
It will never happen again. I will never put Kentucky to do shit. Ever. And I stand by what I'm saying. And Big Barney Ross is one of my friends. I think he agrees with me on this. I'm not sure. But I'm telling you, if Kentucky cares about basketball, Calipari needed to be fired on the fucking tarmac.
Like Lane Kiffin at Southern Cal?
Exactly. He should have been fired he shouldn't have been allowed to wear that Kentucky pin on his shirt after the crew cut guy beat him. That should have been taken off of him, and he shouldn't have done anything else involving Kentucky basketball.
Yeah.
The way that it is. So
I had them beating Oakland, but I had them losing to NC State.
But look, here's the thing, though. And, people get upset when I say this, but the money that they put into that program and the fact that they are one of the blue blood basketball programs in the country, for them to play like this is disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. And if you're a Kentucky fan, we'll take your calls however you want to do it. I'll post the link over here, but it's just the way that it is, man. Quick shout out to Don Staley's basketball team. They won today by 47 over North Carolina.
Yeah, they're in the Sweet 16.
I think that they're a great team, but the South Carolina fan base running their mouths. We showed you who the real Carolina is. Shut up. So shit.
I mean,
Don Staley go beat some WNBA teams.
I know we beat them in women's basketball, but they kind of embarrassed us in football.
Yeah. Well, let's just be honest. Football is the end all be all.
Yeah,
We're
it's
talking about because the tournament's going on right now, but in reality, the end all be all is football, and South Carolina's staring down the barrel of another 5-7 season.
4-8 maybe.
I've looked at that schedule and I'm like, how can I talk about, all right, they could win 6 games? How can I talk about that heading into what we're doing right now, which is kind of the warm-up part for the warm-up part of talking season? How could I sit here and say, that Gamecock football team's going to win 6 games? Got a clown coach that no one respects. All kind of stuff going against them.
I've wanted to defend him, but I can't defend him with some of the stuff he's been saying in the press conferences. Like even now, like recently, he said something along the lines of like, I don't know, like Jordan Dealmaker did a video on it along the lines of him acting like a campaign manager and saying that
well, he was talking about how he doesn't get to do X's and O's and everything else, but you've never been a coordinator anywhere. So stop telling me about you're good at X's and O's. You've never been a fucking coordinator anywhere.
Yeah, I know.
I'm more passionate about this than a lot of Gamecock fans. I don't get it. Don't get it.
Would you like for the rivalry? Would you like for the rivalry to be competitive again? And what I mean by that,
look, there's some Clemson fans who are like, I want to beat them 63-0 every time. No, I want you to get to a point where you're out, where first of all, it doesn't hurt our schedule to play you, because generally it does. Playing a team that's at the bottom of the SEC East does not help your schedule.
No, it doesn't.
We should be playing Georgia.
Yeah.
And I know Georgia can beat the shit out of us, and that's fine, but we should be playing Georgia. Why? Because we recruit a bunch of our kids from there. And it's closer to Athens from Death Valley than it is to Columbia, as the crow flies. But for some reason, we have these group of old fuckers are like, well, we have to play them because of the rivalry. No, we don't. We don't have to play them. Why do we give them a Super Bowl? I've said it forever. Stop giving these people a damn Super Bowl every year. Make them earn it. You want to get on our schedule? Here's a thought. Win some fucking games. Don't lose all these games to Kentucky. Don't let Eli Dorkowitz never have a damn fucking loss against you. Accomplish those things if you want to get on our schedule. Until then, sit your ass in Columbia. No one wants to see that shit.
I think it's inexcusable that we haven't beaten Missouri since 2018, but I honestly like.
You haven't beaten the Dork. The Dork is I think he's 5 and forever against you.
Well, 5-0 if you count the App State. He beat us when he was at App State too.
He was at App State, and then he went on the radio and said, literally, this was the exact quote because I remember it, and he said, "Can you imagine what we would have done to them if I had the budget that they have?"
Ooh.
He said that on the radio. After he wiped his ass with your program, then he went and wiped his dick on the curtains. That's exactly what he did.
You know what I find funny? We didn't even consider him when we were hiring a new coach.
No, you didn't. You should have went and hired Dave Clawson. That's who you should have hired. Clawson develops players. You could still imagine Dave Clawson keeping that top 20 class that everybody that goes there generally gets, and then coaching those guys up. In 3 years, you'd be in the SEC championship game. Write that shit down. Because he actually builds a damn something. And there's an identity there with what he wants to do. It's not just, we want to love everyone and I'm going to kick coolers and but find your joy. Find the fucking unemployment line. That's what that guy needs to do at this juncture.
Yeah. You think he'd make for a good Conference USA coach or like a
he'd be a good usher at the CLA for like the Eagles conference, something like that. Why not? All right, real quick, what else you got, buddy? I got a bunch of folks waiting here.
Yeah, there's a bunch of people waiting. I'll go ahead and let them come on.
Finish, man. What you got?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that I honestly I'm not a sunshine pumper at all, but I keep things real. But honestly, I think we might go 4-8 this next year in football.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we hang on to Beamer because it's hard to fire a nice guy, apparently.
Yeah.
That's the truth. I mean, there's a reason Georgia held on to Mark Richt for so long. I mean, I'm not comparing. Mark Richt won 2 SEC championships when he was at Georgia, but the same applies in the fact that they're both like, nice. Mark Richt's a nice guy. Shane Beamer's a nice guy. And it's hard to fire a nice guy.
That's true. All right. Well, subscribe to Gamecock Sporty's YouTube channel. He does good stuff there.
Appreciate it.
Good luck with the Ultimate Frisbee and the checkers, sir.
Might withdraw Ultimate Frisbee today to go join the Checkers Club.
All right, buddy. Appreciate
Donate
it.
to the channel to help support the Checkers Club at South Carolina.
That's right. I got your first $1. Thank you, buddy. All right. Ray joins the program. Before I go to Ray, I want to address a couple things over here really quick. How much money was raised for me to shave my noggin today? It's actually yesterday. I think we raised right at $700. I think was the total. I had people they gave me like another $150 yesterday for my beard, and then there was like another. I got more online stuff, so appreciate everybody who sent money for that, including Big Barney Ross and Mike and Gamecock Chuck and Jordan Dealmaker and all those guys. Right at I think $700 for me to shave my noggin. So there you go. Anyway, welcome Ray to the show. What's up, brother?
Hey, man. How you doing, Rob?
I am doing well. Jackpot has the evening off.
Yeah, he's back to the retail world, so his schedule's going to vary,
Mhm.
Well, like I said, I hate we lost. It got swept by Clemson.
Yeah.
But, this is only Link's second year. We were terrible last year. But I think that was our only 3 losses we've had on the season was over the weekend. So our bullpen was just atrocious. We could score a few runs, but we couldn't hold a lead. But it is what it is. He's much better than what we had, so we're going to ride with him a while. We have a little bit of improvement, so I'm happy about that. Don't like getting swept, but it is what it is.
Well, at least you're a level-headed person, and here's my thing. Sweeping a series in March doesn't mean a whole lot. It's nice to
it doesn't.
In the end. It's about hold on, I turn this down. I'm trying to turn on the rest of the Gump game here. It's about what you can do in June.
Exactly.
Clemson's look like world beaters right now. I mean, I got to give them that. But until they can win some games in June,
exactly.
I don't run my mouth too much about them. It's nice to sweep.
It's just it's a perfect example. I mean, not quite so much, but I mean, look at South Carolina. I mean, that's just proof the regular season is not the postseason in basketball. It's absolutely not the same. And not to say that they didn't have a great year, and not to say that they weren't much improved, but they pretty much stunk it up the last 2 or 3 ball games.
Well, I mean, it was, I'm not trying to rub your nose in it, but Florida State should have swept the series the way that they played the first 4 innings.
Exactly.
The second game they were down. Clemson was down 8-1 in the 9th inning. Clemson put an 8 spot on the board in the 9th and won.
Right. Our bullpen was atrocious.
How the fuck does that happen? I mean, I don't even know where to go with that.
Well, it's like I said, we can score some runs, but we have a problem holding on to a lead, which that's all part of it. You got to be able to do both. But we'll see how the season goes. It's awful early, so no reason to panic. I'm just happy with the improvement, to be honest with you. But anyway, I hadn't been able to call in a while. I had some things going on. But since, Clemson has joined the lawsuit to get out of the ACC, I was just curious to get your opinions on that. I hadn't had a chance to call in and talk to you.
Here's my thoughts on that. And I was kind of going to talk about that later. We'll go into it really quick here. First of all, Big Barney Ross says the SEC opted out of the tournament games because the bowl game. The tournament games don't matter. Very good, Big Barney Ross. But no, as far as the expansion stuff goes, and look, if I'm Clemson, And I'm looking at the world here, okay? And I'm looking around and I'm like, we still want to be nationally relevant. We still want to be on the same level as a lot of these other programs. And that's great. But to do that, it costs money.
Absolutely.
When I look at in 2025, Vanderbilt is going to get, I think it's $11 million more in TV money than I'm going to get. And I'm carrying the fucking conference. No disrespect.
And as far as that in the Big Ten, Northwestern, it's the same way.
Northwestern's the same thing.
Yeah.
But it's about $11 million that I'm just, we're just supposed to have all that. And we're not really supposed to even talk about that.
Well, and what other people aren't thinking about is, you're having your boosters and your alumni having to pick up the bill, and it's not going to be feasible with NIL because where do you think the NIL comes from? That comes from the collective, which comes from the boosters, which comes from the alumni. So you've got to have revenue streams from somewhere else to maintain your program if you're going to be competitive all the way around.
It's not a level playing surface is what
Absolutely
it basically boils down to. Now, so I agree with Clemson. They should do something about it because, to be honest, the ACC TV deal is bullshit. Now,
it's garbage.
On the other hand, I am in the camp of they did sign it. So you signed into that agreement. So here's what you need to do. I think we got a bunch of passive motherfuckers that are hanging around here right now.
Absolutely. Bottom feeders.
Get people locked into a room together with nothing but spam and some cigarettes and tell them, look, you fucked up, but we need to fix it. How can we do it? And then go from there.
Right.
And that's just
you got programs just like, you have Syracuse, where I'm assuming they're trying to do better, I guess, with this new coach they hired, but Boston College, Syracuse. I mean, come on, man. They're terrible. They don't give two shits about football. They can say they do, but they don't. They don't care. They're not pumping money into that program. Even if they had the money, they're not pumping it into the program.
No, they're not.
They don't care. So why should Clemson and Florida State?
I've talked to a couple of ACC assistant coaches that I know from the time, doing sports talk radio forever, and they've told me that at certain schools, football is looked at as a moneymaker, but in reality, they don't treat it like that.
No.
So, and that's just the way that it is.
Exactly. So, and if there's basically two teams, because Miami they're a joke. They're nothing what they were in the past. They've done jack shit since they joined the ACC. They've played in one ACC championship game. And not won one. They've only played in one. So they're garbage. Just mark them off. I mean, they're no help whatsoever. Okay. So you basically have, hell, even Pittsburgh has done better than they have. Did they win one, I think, one time? Didn't Pittsburgh win ACC?
Pittsburgh's won an ACC championship.
Yeah, so, literally, and who do you think has access to better athletes? Pittsburgh or Miami?
Well, it's easy to say Miami because they're in the state of Florida, but I don't know how much longer that's going to be when the NAACP, we've talked about this, has told black athletes don't go to school in Florida.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that shit. Money is money, bro.
Money
talks and bullshit walks, and as long as the NIL is going to happen.
But we shall see how that works out. I don't know.
Well, I'm just saying I wouldn't buy into all that crap. Don't worry about that. It is what it is. But, we'll see how it all works out. Do you truly think North Carolina's going to join in, or are they just bumping their gums right now?
No, I don't think they're going to join in.
I think they're just talking out loud, you think? Their athletic director has some.
I don't think they care about football. I think as long as they're in the NCAA tournament and it's a basketball thing and they can do the basketball stuff that they've been doing, they don't care.
Well, it's hard to say. I mean, they're
North Carolina in jerk off session. They don't give a shit.
well, Miami. If this tells you anything, their athletic director, which he could just be more or less just coach speak, not really saying what's on his mind, but he's all about, oh, we want to stay in the ACC. This is where we belong. Well, that just reeks if they don't have a landing spot, Rob. That's what it stands to me.
Yeah.
I absolutely believe this with all my heart. Clemson has a landing spot, and so does Florida State. And I think North Carolina would have one if they were interested.
I want to make sure I put this out there too. And a lot of this is for a lot of these Gamecock fans that are like, "Oh, Clemson wants to join the SEC." No,
not necessarily.
They want a spot where the TV revenue money is fair, and you know what? They'll go to the Big Ten if they get more TV money.
Absolutely.
Simple as that. They don't have to come into your suck dick conference like you think they have to. They don't.
Right.
They
exactly,
don't.
And I 100%.
By the way, if Clemson
that.
played in the SEC basketball tournament this year, they may have won the damn thing.
Exactly.
The only team that would challenge them would have been Tennessee. The rest of them are shit kickers.
Exactly.
I stand behind that.
I mean, all you heard about how great the SEC is in basketball. ACC is taking a step back. Well, who was South Carolina beating when everybody thought they were good? Other SEC teams that were supposed to be good that turned out to be not so good, So it has to do with, hey, sometimes if you have a better conference, you knock each other off. But I mean, it is what it is. But anyway, man, I'll try to call in maybe Wednesday. I'm back on the mend now, so I'll be able to call in.
Well, I'm glad you're feeling better, man. You have a great night, all right?
All right, later on, man.
All right, see you later on. Let's welcome in Vic Tube. What's up, buddy? How are you?
Hey, Rob. Yeah. So did you hear about how Georgia won? We beat Wake Forest in the NIT today.
Yeah. When I watch the NIT, this is what I want to tell my friends.
I hope you find a therapist who can help you. I hope you die of ass cancer.
That's kind of how I feel about that.
Yeah, so now we beat Xavier and we beat Wake Forest. So yeah, so we got further than Kentucky did. So it got further than Kentucky did. So in South Carolina, Auburn, etc. So yeah, I know that it might sound weird, bragging about in NIT wins, but
listen though, I mean, to be fair, Georgia doesn't really have a great basketball program. Winning the NIT would be a big deal for Georgia.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, that's right.
All those people that go to the football games could look over at what's the name of the place you play basketball in?
In Stegman Coliseum.
That's where they play hoops. I didn't know we had a hoops team.
Yep, we do. We do. Yep.
There's that.
Yep, but of course we're only in there because a bunch of teams declined the invitation. So
now you're like, you've won 2 games, right?
Yeah, that's right.
You're close to the Sweet 16, aren't you?
It's right. Yeah, we're in the we're in the Elite 8 because there's only 32 teams in the NIT.
NIT.
That's right. So we got further than Kentucky and Auburn and South Carolina.
Update: Alabama held off the online school. They have won against Grand Canyon, and their suck-ass coach Nate Oates can take his sorry ass on into the Sweet 16. But they're probably going to lose anyway.
I don't know why. I mean, yeah, we beat Wake Forest the first time we played them, but we were only given like an 11% chance to win.
Wake Forest has, they've had some good players. Tim Duncan played there. Chris Paul played there. I mean, I can't. I'm trying to give me a great Georgia basketball player. Did he play there? I can't remember.
I guess Anthony Edwards was the
Anthony Edwards. There you go.
Pick. He was the number 1 pick, and we still couldn't make the AA tournament.
He only went there 1 season. He's like, I'm tired of this shit.
Yep.
Big Barney Ross says you're not winning the NIT. Sorry.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, you're probably right. But
Might
Yeah,
be, yeah.
and then our transfer running back from Florida, Trevor Etienne, got arrested last night for a DUI. So
Well, I have a different opinion on that than a lot of folks. And maybe, let me put that out there really quick. When you're in college, you're going to drink. When you're in college, you might do a little dope.
yep,
When you're young, you drive fast. Now, does that mean that Trevor Etienne's a bad person? No.
No.
Now, I hope Kirby Smart has a nice little chat with him and says, look, we're going to sit you a game.
so
Maybe not the Clemson game, but maybe, I don't know. Who do you play after that? East Tennessee, Caboga College, whoever the hell it is, you're not going to play in the game. Suspended for the spring game, whatever. Get his attention and then go on from there. But
that's what we needed.
Georgia's got some problems with, it seems like we've had a lot of alcohol issues at Georgia from what has gone on, and Kirby Smart has to deal with that. But people are trying to rake him over the coals because he was a college kid and he went out drinking. Oh, heaven forbid.
Yep. Yep.
Like none of you motherfuckers drank in college.
Yep.
Especially us motherfuckers that are my age that didn't have Uber and everything else. And the thought of paying $40 for a cab was like our ramen noodle money for the month. No, you got in your car and you drove the fuck home. It's not what you wanted to do, but you did. It's safer now, and you shouldn't drink and drive at all. But in the end, it's like, let's not kill this guy. Come on, man.
Yeah, and then of course people will start talking about the culture at UGA and say, oh, it's a bad culture. But
I just, when I hear people bitching about stuff like that, it's like, look, when you were 20, were you perfect?
No.
We're perfect. Brother, I'm not perfect now, and I'm in my 40s. Okay? So until you're absolutely perfect and, I would never. Shut up. Shut up. I'm tired of people being so judgmental on all of this stuff. Now, if you have a culture at Georgia where everybody's drinking in the locker room and there's glory holes and everything else, then maybe that should be addressed. Okay. But as of right now, I don't want to hear that. Gamecock Chuck says he's been perfect since he turned 50. He must have turned 50 today.
Yep.
Gamecock Chuck.
Yep.
No, it's stupid.
Yep.
It's stupid. All right, Vic, what else, buddy?
Yeah, I think that's all I got for right now. Yeah.
All right, brother. You have a great day, man. We'll talk to you later on.
Okay, thank you.
All right, let's bring in. What's up, buddy?
Well, I'm just proving that I don't hide after getting blue balled again.
You were talking shit to me about, you wanted Clemson. Well, you got Clemson. Now what you got is an L. They should make that pedo bear wear that L on that jersey. Take his ass on.
Man, Bruiser, why kick Bruiser Bear when he's already down?
Why not? He looks like a pedo. That's why.
Bruiser Bear's good people.
I'm sure he is. One other problem that I have, though, you actually have the real fucking bear at your campus. I would box that thing up and take him to all the games. Make him sit in the cage there, hang out. Why not?
Wouldn't that be nice? I'm not against that.
Not against that at all. Harry Leg with a good comment. Never drink and drive. Right. I'm with you on that. I'm just, especially nowadays, when you can take that Uber ride home. Doesn't make any sense to do that.
Or walk home.
Oh, yeah. Walk your ass home. Yeah. I don't get the whole thing with I just think it's bullshit to put these college kids in. It was like the #1 trending thing in ESPN at one point today. We're in the middle of the damn NCAA basketball tournament, but let's talk about Trevor Etienne had one too many beers and decided to drive in his car, and he drove fast. That's a hell of a sports story. Fucking stupid.
I don't know, man. It's almost as stupid as our ability to play defense and shoot foul shots.
Well, look, I don't know to Baylor. All right, I don't know. For some reason, they just decided to not show up today. They would have hit their free throws. They would have won the game. They would have won. Not so much now, man.
I don't know. It's pretty much all the staff that was there in 2021 when we won it all outside of Scott Drew is gone elsewhere and pretty much had to rebuild as far as staff's concerned.
Yeah, James is correct. Baylor just shit the bed today.
He's not wrong. And they pretty much did it right on my head.
Mm-hmm.
Once again.
Then let me read Sven's comment about ETN. He goes, ban the dude scholarship and NIL deal away. That will give everybody else an example to be accountable for their actions. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a hell of a thing to think about. These NIL contracts in them should have what – when I did radio, there was stuff in my contract when I would – when you would have if you did something for a car dealership and they found out that you got arrested or whatever, they could drop you in a nanosecond. Why not hold these 18 to 20-year-olds accountable on the same front? Make that part of the football program where you have a class. Hey, yeah, you're getting $500,000 or a Lamborghini from Athens Lamborghini. If you fuck up, though, your ass ain't going to have it. So I think that's a great thing to do. They want to be treated like real people. Let's treat them like real people. Remember, it's name, image, and likeness. And if your likeness that you put out there is that you're a drunk fuck and you want to drive like a drunk fuck, then you should be treated like a drunk fuck. There you go.
I completely agree.
Mm-hmm.
Took the words almost right out of my mouth.
Yeah, I probably dropped a few more F-bombs in there than you would have, sir, but that's just the way that I am.
Oh, you haven't seen me watching a Baylor game.
Yeah. Were you big mad earlier? On a scale of 1 to 10, how mad were you? Or scale of 1 to jackpot?
Well, I was mad enough that I grabbed the egg carton out of my refrigerator as well as the gallon of milk and was threatening to dump them on myself.
I don't think I would do
that.
That
was probably about jackpot.
You're probably close to jackpot. Good point, sir. Good point.
I was quite perturbed.
Well, I appreciate you coming in, and I appreciate you even showing up after your team got their ass handed to them. It's good.
I don't hide. I've been down quite a bit.
Well, I mean, you were there when your players were actually murdering each other.
Oh, so, yeah.
I mean, that's real. You know?
Yeah. And I mean, look, I was at every single game that pretty much they lost this season in football. I've been a season ticket holder for a very, very long time and probably have witnessed more losses than wins.
Well, you guys were terrible for a long time, so
we really were. I don't know.
All right, Baylor, man. Well, sorry, Clemson ruined your basketball season, but I don't know what else I'm supposed to say here. Thanks. What do you want?
The good news is we have 153 days left until football season. So for me, that's at least what I've got to look forward to because our baseball team is the very personification of hot dog water.
Yeah, that's what they are. All right, brother. Well, one last person to laugh at you. So that's all I got. Appreciate you, Baylor, man.
Yes, sir.
All right. See you later on.
All righty.
I really like Sven's comment there. Makes a lot of sense. Way to go, Sven. Ohio State had some serial killers. Good point, Big Barney Ross. So did Florida. Yeah. They thought they could get away with raping folks since Tim Tebow wasn't sucking up all the vagina down there. He wasn't getting any of it, according to him. Big Barney Ross says Chewbacca's redneck cousin in Kentucky is Chewbacca. That's so bad. By the way, Big Barney Ross has a bourbon review up on robandkaleshow.com. You should go and check it out. I'm going to post the link here in the comment section. And this week's bourbon review is on Weller's Full Proof. If you are into the bourbon stuff, hey, you got to check out Big Barney Ross's bourbon review, which is something he does exclusively for us at robandkaleshow.com. If you want to learn about Weller's Full, and, he's got, in addition to these good ones, he's got some shitty ones too. I'm trying to remember let's see here. No, what was the one that was just stupid? There was one, I can't remember. There's one in here that's really dumb. Oh, Yellowstone. This $40 bottle of Beth Dutton, just rough. I open the bottle and give it the sniff sniff. There are worse things out there, like syphilis. Go and check out Big Barney Ross's bourbon review. There are better things like syphilis than the Yellowstone bourbon, which, if you watch the Big Barney Ross channel, Kentucky Blue Balls, go and find his channel. He had some concoction where he put together it was like cinnamon and some other awful thing and some other awful thing and mixed it with this fucking Yellowstone horrible bourbon. And he said that cleared up his sinuses. I got nothing. I got nothing. Whatever. He says it clears it up. Whatever you need with all that. All right. Final call for calls this evening here. I have Clemson. I did pick them correctly through the Sweet 16. I am looking at Clemson now and wondering, can they beat Arizona? Can they do it? I don't know. These are things we have to ponder now. So it looks like Clemson's matchup with Arizona will be on. Let's see here. Clemson and Arizona will play. I haven't given the time yet. But as of right now, here are the Sweet 16 matchups. 6 seed Clemson, 2 seed Arizona, 3 seed Creighton, 2 seed Tennessee. Purdue and Gonzaga. That's going to be an interesting game there because Gonzaga has that big guy that can match up with that Purdue big fella in the middle there. That should be a interesting set there. North Carolina and Alabama up top in the West. Then we move up. We got Illinois and Iowa State. Then we've got, let's see here. Houston's playing Texas A&M right now to get a chance to play Duke. NC State and Marquette. That's going to be a tough matchup. That big guy in the middle. What is it? Pitts? I can't remember his name. But, help me out, Gamecock Chuck. Who is that big sumbitch in the middle that plays for North Carolina State? He just knocks motherfuckers around. I can't remember his name, but man, he is a guy that is a game changer. There are very few game changers left, like on certain rosters, but he definitely, God, what's his name? Burns. Very good. Thank you, Gamecock Chuck. Burns is just a big, huge dude that's agile, that plants his shoulder into you and can spin around and do all kind of stuff with it. Yeah, there's that. He is a problem. just leave it at that. He is a problem. And having to match up with him, I don't give a shit. You have to game plan around him. Houston and Texas A&M are playing right now. I don't know I got to figure out what the score is on that game. See if I can find the score on that game really quick here. I think Houston's up, right? Yeah, Houston has a 5-point lead at the half, 43-38. They're leading at the half. It's going to be either them or A&M. We'll see how that matchup goes for them. And what was the other matchup here? So UConn, they're beating the holy hell out of Northwestern right now. And they're going to play San Diego State and Yale, the winner of that game. So we'll see how that goes. All right, if you want to join the show, final chance there. I want to thank everyone who donated to help me with St. Baldrick's. That's why I don't have any hair right now. My head looks like it's got a weird shape and all that stuff. My daughter's like, "Oh, now you really are bald. It's not just a spot." Thank you, daughter. Appreciate that. So thank you guys for that. I appreciate that. We raised a bunch of money for the young folks that have cancer. They had some of the survivors there yesterday. Holy shit. This one young fella, he was diagnosed with leukemia, and because of the research that organizations like St. Baldrick's and St. Jude's and all that, yeah, they got this young man to a point where he's living. He's on the cross-country team, I think they said, at Lexington. So very good for them. Brock wants to know, are you cold without all of your hair? Yes. We went out and played golf this morning. About froze my ass off. Ugh. Then we go out there and play, and the wife wears me out. I mean, the wife can play, so it's like, ugh. But it was cool to see some of those young folks yesterday and to see them. You're at a point, man, where regardless of how big you are or big of a man you are, when you walk in and you see these kids and they're like, they're some of them are telling you about the cancer they're still dealing with, or they're telling you about how that they beat cancer. What the hell can you possibly say? I mean, nothing. Absolutely nothing. Just makes you kind of go, wow. That's why someone asked me about, man, why are you giving up your hair? I'm like, well, I mean, these kids with cancer give up their hair just to live. At least I can do is shave mine to have some fools give me some money to help keep these kids up there, keep them moving. Yeah, I'll do some St. Baldrick's. Next year we may have a set with where we have a team from just this show. And I know y'all live all over the place, but we can set it up where you can go to your local shaving event, because they got one in every major town, and go to one of these events. Even if you don't shave your head, go to one of these events and meet some of the young people, meet their parents who, the one guy, he was talking to me about, I don't know, we ended up talking for a minute. And he was talking about how, I don't know. I just heard so many things up there. It's crazy. This stuff with St. Baldrick's. Anyway. All right. Let me give you guys the link one more time, then we'll get out of here. If you want to go over your Sweet 16 picks, we'll have at it. We can do that. We could talk about our Gamecock fans upset after their showing. Jermaine Cousinard broke it off. Gamecock Chuck says he's down for St. Baldrick's next year. We may do that. Start planning. Does that loss hurt you? A good bit. We can definitely get into that. Jackpot would join us, but he doesn't have any hair. Make Jackpot shave that beard. Make him look back like he's back on his Ingalls days. Back there helping the folks in Ingalls. Poor Jackpot. All right, for those of you who are subscribed to the show, make sure we appreciate that. If you haven't subscribed, especially on YouTube, you folks that are on Facebook, we get a lot of folks that watch there too. Go and like the YouTube channel at Carolina Jackpot. All right, we want to get, we're trying to build up our folks there, and subscribe, click the little bell so you can see whenever we come on live. If you were watching yesterday, you got it live when I got my head shaved. Jackpot drops videos all the time. The rundown will be one rundown will be returning as we get closer to football season. So be catching that during the day, maybe 2 o'clock, maybe 2, maybe 3 o'clock. I don't know. But it'll definitely be your little afternoon drop there of sports info, which it is the people's show. That's something that I'm adamant about on any show that I do. You guys are always why we do the stuff that we do, and we'll make you a part of it. But the afternoon show is you folks remember the rundown. It's a cool show. It's basically me doing my thing. Poppy says the rundown is returning in August, he said. Yeah, it probably before then. I might start the rundown back up around right after the 4th of July. That's probably when I'm going to start. I might do a spot show here and there. Just because a lot of times I don't get to do shows by myself, and it's a completely different thing doing a show with someone else than having your own show and sitting and vibing for that amount of time. But might do that to keep the edge off of it. But we are definitely going to do the rundown again. The bookcase of accountability will return. That is something that if you don't know about the bookcase of accountability, it's basically we take and they have all of these, they put out all of these things of this is going to be great. That's going to be great at the beginning of the season. And in the end, they suck. Yep. That's what the bookcase of accountability is for. Because a lot of times, a lot of these people won't put out what they've been doing as far as their predictions and everything else like that. We keep ours out there. You can find all of ours in the archive. But with the bookcase of accountability, I hold a lot of these guys accountable for some of the bullshit that they put out there. A lot of the people that when they look at Mizzou and they automatically think, oh, that's the 6th best team in the artist formerly known as the SEC East. They don't give them a chance. Yeah, we're gonna expose a lot of those people. And to be honest, there's a lot of them now that don't want to put out preseason guides because they'll hint and they'll drop some stuff here and there, but they don't really put out anything where it's like, you know what? I think X, Y, and Z is going to happen. Nobody does that anymore because they want to at the end of the season be like, well, if you remember, I told you this. If you remember, I told you that. Yeah. They want to do that because they want you to think that they know everything, when in reality, nobody really knows. Nobody knew going into this NCAA tournament that Grand Canyon, the online school, was going to give Alabama fits and give them a better game than South Carolina did, that a lot of other teams did. No one thought that the smart kids from Yale would put out Auburn. Nobody really and truly thought that. Nobody thought that, well, except for some of us, but nobody really gave Clemson a snowball's chance in hell today. They didn't. And with that, it's just nice to have that bookcase of accountability, which is to my right. It's sitting right there. Let's see here. Anything over in the comments worth going over? Big Barney Ross, man. He's standing on business, ladies and gentlemen. Standing on business. Kentucky football will go to a bowl game this season. Very good, sir. Just like Big Barney Ross. Oh, man. Big Barney Ross. Big Barney Ross walks in, and this is the first thing he says.
This is a giant cock.
Very good, Big Barney Ross. Very good. Anyway. Oh, Randall's asking what that means. We just keep the bookcase of accountability so we can hold people accountable, man. That's all. I think that's what he was talking about. Vandy Dandy says Kentucky has the easiest schedule in the SEC every year. Well, hold on. since we're here, let's go ahead and we'll look at that really quick. Hold on. We've got Kentucky's schedule right here. Kentucky basketball or Kentucky Wildcats football. Let's look at your schedule. Now, normally they schedule those MAC games. I'll give them that. But this year it's a little bit different. Looking at the Kentucky schedule, they open the season with Southern Miss. Then they play South Carolina and Georgia. That's 2 tough games. Ohio, followed by Ole Miss, where they go on the road. Then they have Vanderbilt, otherwise known as bye week. They go to Florida. That's a tough game. Auburn, after that, in Lexington. They play at Tennessee. They play Murray State right there in Kentucky. You know, Houston Nutt used to coach at Murray State. There's your random thought of the day. They also play at Texas and Louisville. That schedule's the non-conference schedule is shit with Louisville, Murray State, Ohio, and Southern Miss, but the SEC schedule's not. They got to go to Florida. They got to play Auburn. They got to play at Tennessee. Got to play at Texas. So their schedule's not like absurdly easy. So there you go. Mike says, I definitely don't like playing the same teams back to back to the year. That's just lazy. Yeah, good point. Bama's now a basketball school. Very good, Randall. What a mess. All right. Jackpot will be, by the way, if you follow us on Facebook, Jackpot puts out some comments over there, which is pretty funny. He put out when Clemson was up like 10 at the half, fuck you, Baylor. Very good, Jackpot. Very good. Still funny, but you know. All right, well, I'm on Twitter at Rob Sounds Good. Keep up with the bracket challenge. I think I'm still in the lead. Let me look and see here. Hold on. Let's check and see. Groups. Where's the group? Show groups. The Callaway's bracket challenge. Rob is in first place with 490 points. 99% of my picks have been correct. Very good. Gamecock Sporty is in second place. And then it comes down from there after that. Kentucky really hurt me, though. So, Electric Boogaloo has Marquette winning. Stike has Houston winning. And then we got some North Carolina folks. One Purdue person, one Tennessee with Eddie Hicks. He picked Tennessee. Poor Mike Muse had Auburn picked to win the whole damn thing. Not good, sir. Not good. Let's see here. Who else has lost? The Gnome, Jonathan Lorman, had Kentucky picked to win. That's not good. Billy Muse had Baylor picked to win. His bracket is now trash. Let's see here. Yeah, people picking Auburn. That was tough. Oh, man. Jordan Dealmaker had Baylor too. Damn it. Come on, Jordan. You know better than that. Anyway. All right, well, we've got a lot more basketball to talk about this week. I picked Clemson. Picked Clemson to go to the second or the third round. I picked them to win both games. I didn't pick them to beat Arizona, though. Not good. All right, appreciate you guys as always. We will see you on Wednesday. I'm on Twitter at Rob Sounds Good. Jackpot returns on Wednesday. And, yeah, we'll catch you guys later on.